Taxpayers could pay millions after a federal agency allegedly falsified leasing contract documents.
And wait till you see the empty building you are renting in Washington, D.C. Tonight, we're on the money.
We want to know who's been fired.
Congressman Jeff Denham wants heads to roll over this.
Discover Constitution Center.
A government agency signed a 10-year lease worth $556 million for a newly remodeled building with panoramic views of the Washington Monument, a physical fitness center, and get this.
Beautiful white marble, Jerusalem limestone, and paneling of red oak and lace wood.
But it turns out the Securities and Exchange Commission overestimated the space it needed by 300% because the figures they used were based on guesses.
Over $500 million of taxpayer dollars are committed to a project that had no oversight.
And taxpayers we talked to in Denham's Modesto district were surprised to hear a federal agency signed such a lavish lease for 900,000 square feet of space, only to actually need 1/3 of that.
It's a nice building, but yeah, it is a complete waste of money.
They shouldn't get this big of a place. They should be getting something smaller and maybe save the money for something else that is probably more important.
But the feds were determined to move forward, even using deceptive documents to justify the lease, according to an inspector general's report.
And where they really broke the law was they went backdated contracts, and even falsified some of these contracts.
Denham will be grilling the feds tomorrow in Washington over the lousy lease for what is now an empty building. The SEC says it has not paid any rent yet for the Constitution Center, but admits to making mistakes.
I can't speak to past operating practices other than to tell you, as you've seen, they were deeply flawed.
The agency says it's working with the landlord to identify substitute tenants. The building owners, however, are claiming nearly $94 million in damages.
Well, I think we should only use what we need. And certainly if it's costing that much when we're in this kind of an economy, it should be spent in better places.
Now, that hearing tomorrow is going to turn up the heat on those bureaucrats accused of falsifying documents. Bureaucrats, by the way, who are still getting paid. Congressman Denham is demanding repercussions here. He says the SEC should lose its authority to lease buildings in the future.